That's Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy.
It was bad. It was
yeah,
bad. It was
that's
bad.
crazy.
Yeah, your 10 was where it's at. So yeah, but carry
Yeah,
on.
so year 10, as I said, literally spent the whole of year 10 basically working on the brand. I think I launched the brand just in year 11. Luckily for me, I was the COVID year. So
Okay.
I didn't do my GCSEs.
I think I had the knock-on effect. I didn't do mine either.
Yeah. So I didn't have to do my GCSEs. So it was one of those ones where I was really trying to balance school and trying to get this brand up and running. But at the same time, because COVID came, I got all my predictive grades. So it was like, this was just like a perfect point where I could then elevate the brand.
So were you focused in school? Like, were you?
The thing is, I was a like really smart student.
Okay.
Really smart student. I was in set 1 for most of my lessons and stuff like that. But my problem is, one, I've got autism and ADHD, so I struggle with focusing a lot. If I don't care about something, I struggle to pay attention to it. And that was my problem. So it's like, in subjects where I liked them, I excelled crazy. In subjects I didn't like, I was away with the fairies thinking about other things. Do you get it? So with me getting my predictives, it was very beneficial to me, because I had high predictives across the board, because they expected me to be a good student. As I said, with other external factors, I was dilly-dallying a bit in class, but overall I was a good student. And with the fact that I was good at English, maths, I did like art and media, they all linked into my brand in the end, even down to the fact I did history as well, which links in with the fact, obviously, I work at the black community. I do a lot of stuff where obviously hair and stuff, it links back to a lot of different things, back to the slave trade and stuff. So I tried to also bring in stuff to do with black history into it, so it all kind of links. But it wasn't too bad in school, but it just wasn't my main priority. Yeah. It wasn't my main priority. And once I felt like I had a purpose with the brand, I definitely feel like the balance was a bit off. But yeah, COVID saved me with the predicted grades. I went to college afterwards. I did 1 year in college, and I actually dropped out of college after 1 year. Passed my first year.
What did you study?
Oh yeah, I did business. I did business studies. So yeah, first year, I was at that point. I was running my brand. By that time, my brand was actually launched, and my teachers knew about it as well, and it was very proud of me and everything.
Was that your secondary school?
Yeah, no, it's not my college teachers.
Okay, yeah.
So the point where they were now trying to help me with my brand, trying to give me advice with the brand and what I could do for it, which ended up actually, obviously legally, you're supposed to stay in education until you're 18. But due to some grey areas, which I'm not going to get too much into, not going to drag the college under the bus now. But my college actually blessed me to the point where I didn't have to do my second year of colley. They sorted out some grey areas for me where I could actually just go off and run my brand, but still essentially to the government be classed as still in full-time education. So with that being said, the second year where I should have been in colley, basically learning about business, I was just running the brand, and that year my brand excelled a lot. I had a few videos go viral on TikTok, which bumped up my followers. I think I had like 40k, like quick. My brand, I think now I've got like 65,000 on TikTok. Yeah, and about 10k on Instagram. But yeah, TikTok was my biggest platform. TikTok was definitely my biggest platform, and I have to thank my college for even allowing me to go off and go on my own path, because without them, I would have still been stuck in full-time education, trying to still balance it, and without my full attention on the brand, I don't know if it'd be where it is today.
So I feel like TikTok is just the place to be, no matter the business.
TikTok is a very good app, and if you know how to use it well and utilize it, I don't see why you can't be rich from that app. Yeah, it's very easy to get rich on that app. You can do anything, can be rich on that app. Be real.
There's a lot of different things. Yeah. So now with you've done college, finish, is launched. I remember you posted a soft launch for, you had a stand-up or pop-up?
Yeah. So I've had a few pop-ups over the year. I've actually got another one coming up next month at Portobello Nights. You know where Portobello Market is in East? In
Portobello?
Yeah.
I thought I was in West.
It's like
Portobello,
Portobello, like
Portobello Market is in West.
Is it West?
Like near where Notting Hill Carnival is.
No, because I had another pop up in East as well. Yeah, I'm getting confused. Yeah. So I've got pop up next month, September 18th actually, at Portobello Markets, which is a vegan marketplace.
Okay.
They do lots of different things. Obviously, because my brand's plant based, it goes in straight with that. But my biggest pop up was actually I had a 3-day pop up in Oxford Street in 2021. I think 2021, 2022. I was part of a program, a funded program by this brand called Launch It. It was a young people's thing. I think it was under 25s, and you had, I think it was 2 or 3 months where you worked with like a business advisor.
Okay.
And you led up to a pitch where there was multiple like angel investors there and other people like big corporations that wanted to basically invest in small companies, and they were giving out up to £10,000 like grant.
Yeah.
To,
work with.
Yeah, basically for you to work with. I didn't end up winning the grant, but what I did get is 3-day pop-up shop on Oxford Street. And the 2 people that I actually worked with, because it was supposed to be a split, all of the pop-up shops were split between 3 people.
Okay.
But luckily for me, one of the people that was part of my pop-up shop hadn't launched yet.
Oh, wow.
So he was just building like people on his email list. And even now, I don't think he's launched, actually. And the other girl that was there, she ended up, I think, on the 2nd day not wanting to do it anymore. So it ended up being my pop-up shop. And yeah, literally, so it ended up just literally the whole, for the last 2 days, basically had the shop to myself. And it was a really, really good turnout. Like, I met so many people, spoke to people, took pictures, did consultations. I was giving out free samples. I was giving out 200 free samples of my products. And I said, basically, first come, first serve. So obviously, you know how people are, flocking down to the shop to try and get anything that they could. So it was lovely. It was nice to even see the amount of impact that I had on the community. But yeah, pop-up shops have been real beneficial. They're hard to come by, but when you do find a good one,
it can be very beneficial.
They're very beneficial, especially for networking purposes. You never know who's going to be at that pop-up.
Networking is so powerful.
Yeah, especially like when you do combination ones where it's not just you, but like for instance when I'm saying about going down to the Portobello one, there's other vendors there who also have links to other pop-up shops or other events that they can then bring you into. So I definitely think if you're a small business or just anyone really, definitely get yourself down to like in-person events, any type of networking events that you can do.
I feel like people, remember I was showing my friends that you can go on Eventbrite and just look for networking
Yes, I'm
events.
saying just go to networking events, because one thing about networking events is you generally never know who's going to be there.
Exactly.
And you think that guy who's just there in his little shirt and his jeans is a nobody, and he can really be like change your life.
Change your life.
Like, as I was saying to you even on the way here, one time I must have gone to a careers event and I met the person like who does the educational program for basically London. They work with the Mayor of London to provide career programs and stuff like that to secondary schools across London. So I'm now in contact with her, and that was just from me going to a networking event. I would never be in a room with her on a normal day, do you know what I mean?
Course.
But because I went to that event, you then meet up with people that you wouldn't see normally.
No, you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah, put yourself out there and talk to people. Because you never know. Like, literally the person sitting next to you could change your life. Like, it really is that serious.
Me personally, networking events, I used to be scared. I remember I went to a property event led by Samuel Leeds.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Against Property. I saw that, from what I saw, he was very successful in property. I'm sure he is. And met so many different people. Met people that done trading, people that do jewelry. It was a really good event. I didn't follow up a property. I decided to do podcast, and that's why I'm here today. But yeah, there's so many different routes for networking.
Yeah.
On the topic of that, your friends, when it comes to you and your brand, you said that obviously the girls in like year 9, they were like, oh, I see your hair, it's nice. Your friends, have they been supportive with, like, from young, have they been supportive of your business?
You know what I'd say, when I started my brand, I'd actually say I lost most of my friends, if I'm being honest. Once I started making a certain amount of money, once I started having a certain, let's say, lifestyle, I was getting really busy, they didn't understand. And with me being so young, it was kind of hard for them to fathom the responsibility that I had on my hands. So what I had to start doing is I had to make a new set of friends. There's a couple friends that now, with age and maturity levels, they've kind of had to step back and say, oh, I shouldn't have been so like negative about it. You get what I mean? Because you genuinely was just trying to basically set your life up, and they realise that now because all my friends are 20, 22, 24. Do you get what I mean? So it's like now everyone's like, oh, we're all trying to make a career, we're all trying to make money. Do you get what I mean? Obviously, I started a bit younger, so a lot of people just didn't understand. Once I started my brand, however, you start to make friends who are also business owners, just genuinely people who support your stuff. You end up following them back, and then it's like, oh, do you want to meet up and we can talk about business stuff or whatever? Then you might end up being like, oh, do you want to go grab food here? And then it actually ends up being something more than just a little networking partner. Do you get what I mean? But yeah, it was very hard doing it at a young age because people just don't get it. People don't get when they're saying, oh, come to a party tonight. And I'm like, I've got to pack orders. They're like, oh, just pack them tomorrow. And I'm like, this is why you don't have a business. And I do, because that level of discipline you don't have. And when you're not working a 9 to 5 and someone's not nagging down your ear to do something, you are the person that has to tell yourself, today is the day you need to get this done. And if you don't get this done, is anything really going to happen with this business? Do you get what I mean?
I do.
If you go to work, if your boss tells you need to wash up the dishes now, you need to wash up the dishes now. However, I'm telling myself I need to do that. And I'm telling myself if I don't get this done now, that's now going to lead on to problems later on down the line. I'm not hitting deadlines that I need to meet or stuff like that. So yeah, it was really interesting. But yeah, as I said, a lot of my friends I was cool with in secondary, with age, they've kind of come back and spoken to me about situations, and I'm like, yeah, like I get it. We was young, and if you're not in my shoes, you're never gonna understand it. It takes a couple of years for you to get it, but you're here now.
Yeah, well, you're back.
Yeah,
so
you know what I mean. So yeah,
so with a discipline, obviously, it's not his natural thing to come to. Do you like read, or is it like, how did you? Because my discipline person is like, I look around and say, I don't want to go back to that lifestyle of being struggling and not having keys.
That. Yeah.
So it's like, well, I have to go the other way, innit?
yeah.
So your discipline, where does it come from? Do you know?
So growing up, I didn't have an easy childhood, not at all. Like I had very problematic childhood. There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and for me, I always had extreme drive to get myself out of that situation. So as you were just saying, it's more of a thing of I'm not trying to go back. I've set myself up very nicely now. Like I live by myself and I work for myself, and I can go on holiday when I want to go on holiday, and I can go out when I want to go out. Do you know what I mean? There's no limitations when it comes to what I've set up for myself. And I watch my friends now I have friends that are like 26 and they're going to a job that they absolutely hate just so they can get ends to meet. And it's like, do I really want to be like that? No. So if I got to stay up until 4 a.m. tonight to make sure that this is finished, I'm going to stay up till 4 a.m. tonight, because especially even now with the fact that this whole cost of living thing, the whole cost of living crisis, seeing how people, even same thing with COVID, watching people have a job today get made redundant tomorrow. People who were good for money yesterday and now not good for money today because of cost of living. So it's like, I never want to be in that predicament if I don't need to be in that predicament. So I'll keep pushing forward, keep making sure that my business is doing well, even if that means sometimes I have to miss out on other things.
So you see how people know you're doing business, people know that your business is going well. People asking you for money, do you get it a lot? Because me, there's guys that still owe me bread till what day is it? Hey, it's 22nd August. You owe me my 4 bills. My 4 bills.
Bring him his money. Bring him his 4 bills.
So
that's an interesting topic. That's a really interesting topic.
Okay, the question is, let me. Okay, firstly, I want to know who asked. Like, not necessarily their names, of course, but like, is it the school friends? Is it little cousins? Like, who generally ask?
Okay, let's talk about my sister to begin with.
How old is your sister?
My sister's 11.
Okay.
So the problem with the way she's now seeing life, she see me. I'm a big sister. We have a 9-year age gap. So in the time that she got to an age, let's say, of consciousness, where she actually started to understand a bit more about real life, she see me making money from a very young age. So it's like her concept of how the value of money now is wrong. And I'm trying to drill it into her head that most people my age are not in the position I'm in.
Yeah.
Because she now believes that money grows on trees. Because she's just like, well, why do you not have money? But my sister, who's 10 years younger than you, does. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, in that sense, she thinks that she'll come to me, for my birthday, I want 5 new pairs of trainers, I want blah, 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 blah. And I'm just saying to her, like, you know what, yeah, you've been good, so I'll get it. But you need to understand that this is not normal. And you need to start realizing the actual value of money. Like, just because this is the thing with me, she doesn't understand that you have to work for money, because I don't really work for money the way other people work for money. So she will see, Skye's got £150 order, instant. I haven't gone to work and been paid £14 an hour the same way that someone else would to get that £150. For her, it's just like, she sees a Shopify notification come up, she hears a cha-ching noise, that means that there's money in my account now, which is facts. But then you also got to realise about the bits before that that even allowed me to then get that £150 in a second, because those products weren't made in a second. I had to stand there and make those products. I had to stand there and market those products. I had to stand there, create the content, upload them to the website, create a website, and all the other things that come with it, and the time and research that it took to even just create that formula in the first place. So yeah, with my sister is one of my biggest problems when it comes to money. But as I said, she's young in it, and I hope with time, and once she gets her own job, she'll see that life is not as sweet. The life is not as sweet as she thinks
feel like
it is.
if you have a younger sibling, it's kind of like an automatic assistant, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, come, I need you to do this for me today. She's like, but I'm saying, what do you mean, but last time I checked, you was asking for trainers. You think that money is easy to come by. Let me show you what work really is. But yeah, so obviously I've got that. And then obviously, like, my friends and whatnot, let me not even say friends, I'm going to say acquaintances, people that I know. They have a very judgmental view on my bank account, let's say. They believe that I have a certain amount of money, that whether I do or whether I don't is besides the point, but the way that they move about it. Say, for instance, I don't know, I lend someone money. I tell them I need the money back on the 20th. On the 20th will come now, they have the cheek to then basically say to me, because I'm in a better position financially, they don't need to run the money back on this date because I don't need it. But if everyone who takes money from me tells me I don't need that money back, I think I'm going to go broke soon. Then I'm going to be asking you guys, can I borrow £20, please? Do you know what I mean?
No, most
it's
definitely.
and I don't like that. I don't like the fact that people believe that. And I don't just mean this with me. I mean this with business owners. I mean this with influencers or whatever. Just because we make money the way that we make money is completely different to someone who has a salary. I literally made a post about this on my social media the other day, actually, where someone on a 9 to 5 knows how much money they're making at the end of the month.
Yeah.
They know that they're getting this for their rent. They know that they've got this for food. They know that they've got this for travel, whatever. Do you know what I mean? They can budget their month better.
Yeah.
They can budget their whole life because they know how much money they're getting. With me, I could make good money this month, bad money next month, great money the next month. And on the months where money's bad now and people are basically saying like, oh, I'm not going to give you that money back, or can I have some money from you, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you actually don't understand that I'm actually in a worse position than you are, for the fact that my money is not reliable. You guys' money is reliable, and that's what kind of annoys me about the situation when people do ask me for money, because I feel like there's just no understanding.
They don't look at it as,
You know, for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's kind of just a very narrow-minded view on what it's like to be a business owner. So like, as I was saying, if I have a good month this month, I've got to make sure that if I do have a bad month next month, I can make sure that I'm cool for next month as well, which then basically means dragging over a little money from this month to then last me for the next. But if you then take that extra money because I'm doing good this month, when I'm bad next month, what do I do then?
It's crazy because it's like no one understands how hard you may work on it. You know?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. That's what I'm saying. That the lack of value for the money, because people just seem to think that it's just easy to come by. It's really annoying because people don't see the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes. And obviously it's lovely, like it's a compliment to me that people believe that this is easy, because clearly I'm making it look easy. Do you get what I mean? Clearly I'm doing such a good job at this that I've made it look easy. But at the same time, just because I make it look easy doesn't mean it's not hard.
I could imagine how hard it is.
Yeah,
And then with how hard it is, has there been people that are like, oh, Skye, like, do you tutor? Can you show me how to create my own brand?
Of course, I get this a lot. And the funniest thing is, at the start, when people first started asking me about like tips and tricks or asking me for help with their brand, I didn't really want to give anyone tips and tricks because I was winging it. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I don't know if what I did is going to work for you just because it worked for me the first time I did it. Plus with the fact that times are changing. Someone's starting TikTok now and someone started TikTok back when I started TikTok. TikTok's a completely different platform now. You have to make completely different content now to get views the same way that you used to. Do you get what I mean? Same thing with Instagram even. Times change, trends change, people's interests change in what's going on and whatnot. So, as I said, when I first started, I didn't really like that advice thing. Now that I'm quite deep into the business, I offer advice, but the thing I find funny is someone messages me for advice. I tell them, yeah, of course, I'll give you advice. They go, okay, cool. Question. I say, I charge £30 for this. I charge £50 for this much time. Silence. Lots of silence.
Money talks.
Yeah.
People walk away.
Heavy on that. And the thing I find funny is that a lot of people who actually make it understand that money makes money. If you're going to be stingy, you're not going to make any money. If you want my advice, then you're going to have to pay for it. Otherwise, you got to go down the long route like I did and do the 4 years of research. But do you want to waste 4 years? Or you could just pay a little £50 here, £100 here and get all of that knowledge quick. But then they're just like, no. And that's the thing where it kind of upsets me slightly, because it's like, you only valued my information enough when it was free. As soon as I now tried to put a price tag on it, apparently the information is not good enough for you anymore.
Kind of like the samples when you done the pop-up.
You see my point?
Obviously, I know that when you buy something, you get their email information to email them in the future. When you done a pop-up, did you get any information for them to give you a review?
I didn't take any actual details from them like that. I gave out a lot of leaflets and business cards so they could get in contact with me. Because what I found as well is the email sign-ups, they work to a certain extent, but people, especially the people that I'm targeting, like who are younger, because my target audience is really like early 20s to like early 30s. We check our emails, but do we check our emails? Yeah. Like, think about it really. When you check your emails, are you checking emails from JD? No. You're checking emails about important things, maybe your doctor's appointment this next week, but you're not really checking your emails for marketing purposes. When you're getting sold, you're going on socials. And that's where I push my most of my marketing.